30 seconds, I want to swab that.
It's been a year since the first COVID-19 infection was identified in South Africa. Since then, more than 50,000 people have died here and 1.5 million have been infected. While richer nations roll out vaccines, the program in South Africa has been much slower.
No person, no country, and no region must be left behind. Another important step is to enable the transfer of medical technology for the duration of the pandemic. This will allow us to increase the production of COVID-19 vaccines and other medical products.
South Africa and India are leading a movement to suspend the World Trade Organization's agreement on intellectual property rights for COVID-19 vaccines. But many high-income countries, including the United States and those in the European Union, have rejected the idea. They say waiving the patents would put off private investors and slow down scientific innovation. And existing regulations allow drug manufacturers to make their own deals with generic manufacturers. While some developing nations like Ghana, Ivory Coast and Lesotho have begun receiving their first doses through the UN-backed vaccine sharing scheme known as COVAX, many others in Africa are being left behind.
There is the capacity for pharmaceutical companies to produce these life-saving medical tools. It is essential that the wealthy states stop blocking or putting in legal barriers and delaying this essential proposal ahead of the TRIPS Council at the World Trade Organization.
According to the United Nations, 3/4 of all COVID-19 vaccines have been secured by just 10 countries, all of them wealthy. 130 countries, that's about 2.5 billion people, have not received a single dose. This is not the first public health emergency that South Africa is facing. It has one of the highest HIV/AIDS rates in the world. In the 1990s, millions of people in this country and other developing nations died without access to the drugs they needed, simply because they were too expensive. South Africa is once again calling for access to cheaper drugs to save lives, with some arguing that despite COVID-19 vaccines being tested in Africa, many nations on the continent still remain at the back of the queue. Fahmida, Al Jazeera, Johannesburg.